I just made a Milgram opinions presentation where I've just put pictures of each character and you can take a look and I'll take a look and I'll be like, here's what I think about them and their writing and, just like their whole thing. You know? Yeah, you know. Okay, so I mean, we might as well get started now, even though not much is happening, I guess. Oh, womp womp. No. One watching is me. I forgot the one watching is me. I probably should have not done this, like, at what is genuinely 9:27 p.m. Pacific time, which is what I'm at, which means that, like, I think most of my viewers are from America, and so, yeah. Um, they're probably all asleep if they have good sleep schedules. I am eating chocolate, and it's so based. Yeah. But I'm gonna keep this up as, like, a fun video that you can come back and watch. Just fast forward through all this sturf. Yeah. Let's talk Milgram and my opinions, because my rise to niche internet fame. Oh, hello, Spamwitch. My rise to niche internet fame is because of Milgram, and I want to talk about it, and I've been thinking about it a lot these last few days. So let's just go over all the characters. Let's start with Haruka. If you've seen my All Knowing and All Agony cover, you might have noticed a flashing message at the very end of it, which I'm pretty sure says hashtag Haruka guilty for life. I hate Haruka Sakurai. Which he is no longer the subject of my hate. Haruka is no longer the subject of my hate. Is he my favorite? No. No, he's not. And honestly, my hate on Haruka has mostly been like a joke, a running gag with myself, because when I first found out about Milgram, I found out about it in like 2021 through an online friend group that I don't really talk to at all anymore, and they posted it in Discord, and I was not expecting, I knew vaguely what Milgram was about, but I wasn't expecting the subject matter, and it just like really freaked me out. I was like, ah! 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 So I think I've always kind of resented Haruka because weakness kind of gave me a panic attack the first time I saw it, which is crazy because, like, it's not that intense. But I think because I wasn't expecting it, it felt more intense. Yeah. So he's got the short end of the stick, in my opinion, because I was predisposed to hate him. Weakness is a good song. I prefer All Knowing and All Agony, for sure. Wait 1 second. Let me get something. Let me get something up. Okay, here we go. Back to Haruka. Yeah, All Knowing and All Agony is definitely my preferred song. I think it might be my favorite song in all of Trial 2. I think it's really good. And it's probably, well, it's up there. It might be one of my, it's, well, like, top 3 favorite of my Milgram covers. Okay, so first Trial, guilty. I would have voted him guilty. The fact that he got voted innocent is crazy! It's crazy to me! Also, please let me know in the chat the sound and how that is. The idea of voting Haruka Sakurai innocent, or forgiven, I use forgiven and innocent and unforgiven and guilty just interchangeably because I can't be bothered. Him getting voted innocent is crazy to me. Because this is my personal, because again, Milgram is all about, like, you judge them based on whatever you want. My personal strategy is, did they kill someone? Because some of the Milgram characters just straight up haven't killed anyone. Were they assholes? Yeah. Yeah. So, like, Futa, he was an asshole. He messed up. He didn't kill anyone, though. So that's kind of, like, what a lot of my votes are based on. So Haruka killed someone. So I'm like, I want to vote you Unforgiven. Because this is my issue with Haruka and Mu. I look at their backstories and I think, damn, that sucks. You didn't have to kill someone about it, though. Like, that's it. Maybe that's insensitive. No, it's not insensitive. It's not insensitive to say, yeah, that sucks that happened to you. You didn't have to kill someone about it. Sorry, I just think I love saying that. I've been saying that phrase while talking about Milgram since I was a senior in high school, and it always makes me giggle. No, it's like Haruka's story is like really tragic, actually, especially. The right channel is muted? Oh, that's odd. Okay, 1 second. Let me check this out. Let me look at my audio really quick. Sorry, y'all. I'm like, please don't show any kind of personal information on here. Please don't do that. Is that, or is that just double loud? Is that just double loud? It might just be double loud. How is that? I'm just gonna try this the way it is right now. How about this? I don't know. I'm not sure how to fix it right now. So I'm just gonna keep going. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm really happy that when a character dies, rest in peace Haruka. Can't believe I didn't lead with that. That they reveal their full story. Because I really hope they do that at the end of each character's music video as well, actually. Or at least reveals it fully in the voice drama. Because I want to know what some of these guys did. Because to me, some of them are really obvious. Some of them are so vague to me still. We'll talk about the vague ones later, because, you know, we'll get to it. But, knowing Haruka's backstory, it brings a lot of perspective to his character. I was really surprised that they did go with the learning disability route. You don't see a lot of that in, like, anime or anime adjacent things. So for them to say canonically Haruka Sakurai has a learning disability and his parents neglected and abused him, sorry, I just got distracted by audio. Yeah, like, it obviously does not justify Haruka being a murderer, but it does make you feel bad for him. It does make you feel bad for him that he was neglected by his parents like that. Again, I know you're suffering, but you didn't have to kill someone about it, let alone 2 little girls and a lot of animals. You didn't have to do that, man. You really didn't. Also, hey, is Haruka Sakurai 28 years old? Just asking. Born in 1997. I did my research before doing this stream to talk about him specifically. Now, it could either be that, because Milgram started in 2020, so it could either be that if they're stuck in time, which would also make sense for the story, then he'd be 23, which I feel is a bit more believable, because in one of his things when they ask, what's your age, and he says 17, but I don't really keep count, it would make sense if his parents were neglecting him so much that they didn't keep count of his birthday, and he didn't either. So he's 23, and he's like, I'm probably 17. Um, but that was in 2020. I don't know if they age as the thing goes on. Is this happening in real time? If the story of Milgram takes place in real time, that is so fucked up. That is so fucked up, because it's like, imagine, not to get ahead of yourself, but imagine you're Futa Kajiyama, and you are in a prison for 5 years for cyberbullying a girl, and you slowly start going, like, losing your grip on reality and join a cult founded by a 12-year-old. Imagine if that were you. Sorry. Anyways, that was totally unrelated, but, like, that's, if it ages in progression, it would be crazy, and that would make him 28, and that would be wild. Anyways, I like him. I can't make the hating jokes anymore. I will keep making the hating jokes, but I shouldn't, because he's actually a really interesting and well-written character. And that's all I have to say about that. R.I.P. Wait, no, I do have more to say about that. Speaking of his death, holy shit. I'll talk more about it when we get to Moo, because I have some choice words for that young lady. But when it was confirmed Haruka died, I was like, oh, he made that threat, like, if you don't forgive Moo, then I'll kill myself. And I was like, oh, yikes. Yo! And, you know, you look at that and you're like, oh, okay. I'm not gonna talk about it, but wasn't expecting the method. I think it is so cruel that the writers were like, okay, how is Haruka gonna kill himself? He's gonna starve himself to death. Like, the most slow, painful thing that he could possibly inflict on himself. When I saw that video, I lost my mind, because I was like, you didn't have to do that. You really, bro, you really did not have to do that. She does not care about you like that, Haruka Sakurai. I can't believe I'm defending him. I cannot believe that if you told me 2 years ago that I would look at Haruka Sakurai and I would feel pity for him, I would say you're crazy. Anyways. Crazy kid. You know, I have very normal opinions about Yuno. I feel like everyone likes her because she's a well-written and interesting character. And that's it, really. I mean, not it. I have more to say. Because I do have actually some critiques of her character, which really has nothing to do, but I'll get to it. Yeah, but she's pretty cool. I really like that recently they addressed the abortion debate. I think that was smart, because even though Milgram was written for a Japanese audience, them taking in mind and knowing, hey, it's actually a really touchy subject here, even though I know in the tweet, the writer, I'm fully forgetting his name, he was like, it's not talked about as much here in Japan, and I'm like, I can't speak on that, so I'm not saying anything. But, the whole idea that, the fact that they took the time to say, hey, this isn't, like, supposed to be pro-life or pro-choice or anything, it's just a character, that makes things nice, because it would suck if they started using her as, like, a political mouthpiece. I think Yuno is a super well-written character. I think she's really cool. I think she's really interesting. One thing I do wish we got from her, well, not really, because we're getting it now. I'm really glad that we're getting this kind of character development from her, where it seems like now she's regretting her abortion. Again, not because of any political reasons, just because I think in Trial 2, she was a bit stale, because we already knew pretty much out and out that she did sex work. So we weren't waiting, and that she got an abortion. So we weren't waiting on any kind of, like, confirmation of what she did. And since she was voted forgiven, her opinions about stuff didn't change very much. However, we did get to find out more about her in that twist where she's like, I didn't do this because I was, like, poor, or I needed money, or because I was insecure and needed love, which I don't believe for a second. I do think Yuno got into sex work because she is constantly looking for that feeling of warmth, and she'll do anything to find it. I don't know. It's she has something going on. I'm excited to learn more about her. But, like, she didn't do it because of those kind of tragic reasons. She did it because she wanted to. And I think that gives her a lot of agency as a character. And I think that makes her really interesting. And I'm like, no matter what, I'm voting her innocent, innocent, innocent. Forgiven, forgiven, forgiven. But I am really glad that she's getting kind of a character switch up, because if it was just her spouting the same opinions, it would be kind of dull. And she's a really interesting and well-written character, and to have her just kind of stay static would be a shame. Yeah, that's honestly all I really have to say about Yuno. Her songs are pretty good. Not my favorites. I think, actually, no, never mind. I was gonna say when I think about it, they might be my least favorite of the girls, but I don't think that's the truth, actually. They do rank a little lower, I think, because I listened to them so much when I first got into Milgram. I listened to Umbilical a lot, I listened to Teardrop a lot, and now I just can't really listen to them anymore, but she's great. Oh, Futa Kajiyama. Oh, this guy. Oh, this guy. I kind of think he's hilarious. Just the concept, I don't know why. It's wrong. He's, like, not a cool dude. He is, like, a total asshole. But there's just something about him that makes me laugh. I'm like, you're pathetic. I like that. 'Cause his whole thing is that I think there's this dichotomy of where apparently he's supposed to be, like, a social justice warrior, but he does not give that vibe at all. 'Cause I don't know what the full, like, translations of the screenshots are in Bring It On, but one of them, he calls out this guy who was creeping on a woman, like, at his work or at his school or something. And it's like, wow, Futo, that's, like, pretty woke. And then, like, they ask him something about women, and he says some really weird stuff, and you're like, what is this guy's deal? I just realized my door was open. My poor roommate has to hear me listening to Milgram, me talking about Milgram to a live stream audience. I don't think I voted for him the first round because I didn't know about Milgram until I think the first one I actually voted for was Mahiru. I didn't vote in the first round, but I think Unforgiven was a good choice. I think it was, because I think affirming him would have just, I don't know, he already felt guilt in the first trial, pretty obviously, but just confirming that is good. But overall, I think he should end up being forgiven, unless something really crazy comes to light. But then there's the whole cult thing. I don't want to affirm his cult. We'll cross that bridge when we get to there. But the guy is an asshole, and he should not have cyberbullied a girl to the point that she killed herself, obviously. But comparatively to some of the other Milgram characters, he's not that bad because, as I said at the beginning, he did not kill someone. He didn't do that. So, and it's like you can see so clearly in his music video when he finds out that the girl is dead, he's like, oh my god, what the fuck, what have I done? He's so clearly feels guilt that I have a hard time being like, this guy totally sucks. I think he's just like 20 and stupid and a bit of an asshole. So that's my opinion on Futa. I think voting him guilty, innocent is probably good. Crazy, the cult thing. Sorry, I almost forgot about that. Talk about elephant in the room. The cult thing? He's like, hey, I remember seeing somebody on Twitter being like, that's a grown-ass man joining a cult run by a 12-year-old. And I don't know, if we're going chronologically and they have been there for 5 years, if I was, like, okay, if I cyberbullied a girl to the point that she killed herself, and I found out about that, and felt so immensely guilty, because I would feel so immensely guilty, and then I go to a magic prison where everyone is voting on whether or not I'm forgiven or not, and I hear these voices in my head that are just like, you suck, you suck, you suck, everybody hates you, suck my balls. And there's people in the prison who are getting actively beat up. I've been beat up. Like, and then all of a sudden, like, you're at your lowest point mentally, like, the worst thing that could happen to you, and then this 12-year-old is like, I can make you believe again. I can give you salvation. You know what? Why the hell not? Why the hell not? So my point in that is that Futa is a person who is in a very, very difficult and extreme and scary situation, in a traumatic situation, who is very vulnerable. That's the type of mentality that cults prey on, and Amane is not doing it intentionally. She's 12. She's not trying to intentionally manipulate somebody to do something bad or to be part of something that's bad. She just genuinely thinks that she is right. And he's vulnerable and needs something to believe in because life looks so hopeless for him. Like, yeah, of course he's joining that cult run by a 12-year-old. What do you think? Anyways, is it kind of hilarious? Yeah. On a surface level, it is kind of funny that he looks like, if you've seen the new splash art, if he looks like that and he's like super religious now because of a 12-year-old girl. However, it's actually a really smart writing move in my opinion. Okay. I'm loading up on this piece of chocolate before I have to talk for a hot second about a certain character. That was very good chocolate. Time to talk about something that's not so good. Fuck Mu Kusunoki. That's right. I said it. I hate Mu Kusunoki. Now, with that being said, she is an incredibly well-written and interesting character. I like her. As a person, I hate her. I hate this bitch. Get her off my screen. Yeah, get her off. Wow, it's Shido Kirisaki. Wow. Get her off. Oh, look at Shido. Get her back on. Fuck you. Yeah. Mu makes me so angry in a way that characters rarely ever do. Because she is so... I'm like, how do I organize my thoughts? How do I organize my thoughts about Mu? Let's just start with the same thing I say about Haruka. Wow, your backstory sucks. Not sucks as in is bad, but it sucks that happened to you. Damn, that sucks that happened to you. You didn't have to kill someone about it, though. So yeah, and I felt that way the first time I saw After Pain. There was a huge campaign that was run by an old online friend of mine, actually, when it first came out, to vote Mu innocent, because she was a bullying victim. And because all my friends were on this hype train, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll vote her innocent. I would have voted her unforgiven. I totally would have. Because I'm going to be so real. even if she was being bullied, that doesn't justify shit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, murder's like a crime, and it's really bad, actually. Crazy how we have opinions like that. I know it's not that serious. I want to make sure it's known that I know it's not that serious. Yeah. But even when she was like the perfect victim, I was like, something is fishy with her, especially in the voice dramas and the quotes. And again, sucks that happened to you. Didn't have to kill someone about it. Then Trial 2 comes out, and it's confirmed that she was the bully first. Which, I'm like, okay, so you're bullying girls and making them feel horrible, and as soon as the tables turn on you, you can't take a taste of your own medicine, and you, like, kill someone over it? That's crazy. That's, like, oh my god, that is, like, the most infuriating character ever. She's so entitled, she's so horrible, and the way she talks to Haruka, the way that she becomes Haruka's friend is so it's like the popular girl who like takes the neurodivergent kid and is like, oh my gosh, you're like my best friend, and treats them like a pet. That's the vibe I get from her, and it makes me angry. I'm like, never did I think I would be on Haruka's side. Never did I think I would be on Haruka's side, but, like, stay away from him, girl. Stay away! And maybe she does care about him. I'm sure somewhere deep down she does. But when S tells Moo, yeah, Haruka said that if I don't vote you forgiven, that he's gonna kill himself. What do you think about that? And she's like, well, if that's what he wants to do, then I guess he should do it. What? Oh my god. Well, that's just what friends do. They do nice things for each other. What? Like, it's so crazy to me. She's just so casual about it. And in the video where she watches Haruka die in front of her, she's just like, oh my gosh, Haruka, why are you doing this? Do you think they're gonna vote me innocent? Hey, Haruka, oh my god, you aren't breathing. Girl! Do something. Like, I hate her so much. I'm sorry. She is so infuriating to me. I'm really excited to see what her character is like in this round and what her song is like. Frankly, I fear that she's gonna be pretty stagnant. Because here's one of my main critiques of Milgram, and this is only applicable for Trial 2. But so much the prisoners who were voted innocent or forgiven have some really great stuff. Whereas I feel the ones who were voted guilty, a lot of their songs and voice dramas just revolve around them being like, oh man, I was voted guilty. I was voted unforgiven. Why did you do that, man? Why didn't you forgive me? And it's like, okay, come on. I felt like that was Futa's mostly. I'm gonna go back to Futa's slide for this actually. I feel like in Trial 2 his character didn't progress much. He was just the same guy, but beat up and like, man, why are we here? Oh man, I was voted guilty and that really didn't work out for me, obviously. And Backdraft kind of just feels like, I was voted unforgiven. Why didn't you, and we see that with a couple of characters, and it bothers me. I feel like we could have gotten more from those characters, but they were focused on reacting to the prison, which makes sense because that's a huge part of the story is what happens inside the prison. I think I'm just more interested in what happens outside, what happened outside, and why they're there, instead of like, oh man, you voted me guilty, blah. And I fear that is what Moo's character is going to be like in Trial Thing, where she's like, why did you vote me guilty? Because of that Haruka died. That's just what I feel like her character is going to be, because I feel like we may not have that much further to go in terms of like what she did outside of the prison. I don't know. I don't think there's any more truth bombs to be revealed about her, but I could be wrong. Hi, Shido Kirisaki. Oh my gosh, hello. Wow, it's crazy seeing you here. You come here often? Wow, hi, Shido Kirisaki. I really like Shido Kirisaki. I do kind of joke that I'm in love with him. I'm not a waifu, but I'm not. He's my wife. Actually, no, he is my waifu. I'm not like a self-ship person. I'm not somebody who's like, oh my god, that anime character is so hot. I just like him a lot. I think seems sweet. I was talking about earlier about the characters that I really want some firm details about them. And I would really like some more firm, factual details about Shido. Because I feel like he has the second most ambiguous crime in the series. Which he kind of spelled it out, but I feel like there's more to it. There's gotta be more than what he said in the Trial 2 things. So basically, I want to talk about the revolving door of theories about Shido, because I had my own theory when I saw Throwdown for the first time, and immediately I went and looked at other people's theories, and it was like, oh, I'm way off. So, when I first saw Throwdown, my theory was that his whole crime, his murder, was that he is a doctor or a surgeon, and because inevitably, unfortunately, he isn't able to save all patients, that's considered like a negligent death or whatever. That's how because Milgram is so loose with the definition of murder that it's like it could really be anything. So that was my first idea, and I still honestly don't want to fully rule. Well, no, I'm ruling that out. But that was really what I thought it was, and then all of a sudden I see people on Discord and Twitter being like, it's organ trafficking, and I was like, huh? Oh? So I don't think it's that either. I really don't think it's either of those things. I do feel like he may have been up to some malpractice. I feel like he may have violated the Hippocratic Oath at some point, or in some way or another. There's something off about him. In my understanding, what happened with what we have canon right now is that he was the guy who was like, hey, your loved one is brain dead or in a coma. Can we take their organs so we can, like, put them in another person? Because they're pretty much not going to wake up. And then he would be really confused when people said, no, we're going to keep them on the life support or whatever. And he'd be like, damn, that could, like, save somebody's life, and you're not doing that? That's crazy to me. And he always kind of thought that until his family ended up dying in, like, a car crash or something. I don't know. That's what I just assume. And he's like, I get it now. It's actually really distressing to be asked, do you want to take your family member or loved one or friend off of life support? So that's what my current understanding. I could be so wrong. My current understanding is that Shido's the guy at the hospital who pulls the plug. That's my guess. But I still don't feel 100% on that. I feel like there's more. So I am very excited to see his little write-up. I am also so sad that he is dead. I am so sad that we aren't getting another Shido song, because he has the voice of an angel. Yeah. There was something else I wanted to see. Also, I'm so curious, not to be like, I want to watch Amane kill him. I
just curious how she does it. How did... I mean, I believe it. I think she could. It's just like oh, damn. Everyone voted Amane innocent because they were like, she's 12. She can't kill that grown man. Yes, she can. I guess. Crazy. Yeah, I really like Shido. I think he's great. Watch him be revealed to have done something like really horrific, and I'm like, oh, I take everything back. But yeah. Mahiru. I love Mahiru. Mahiru is, I think, my favorite of the female characters. She is lovely, which is great because I didn't expect much from her. Because I found out about Milgram and like became invested in it, I would say, shortly after Throwdown was released. And I was super excited for Mahiru's song because to me it sounded the most catchy out of the previews, like the songs of the Prisoner videos. But I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a yandere thing. And I hate that trope. I hate a yandere trope. It's just overdone and it's boring and it's not done interestingly. And I'm just tired of it. I don't want to see it. It's boring. When I saw How to Be in Love with You, I was like, oh, they didn't do a lazy cop-out. This is actually really interesting. So Mahiru, my whole opinion on her is, frankly, I kind of think she should have maybe been forgiven in the beginning. Because we still don't know the full details of her thing. My educated guess, is that she was in a toxic relationship. I think it was probably toxic on both ends, because she's obsessive and kind of strange. But not in like not in an extreme way, just in like, she feels so deeply, and strange isn't the right word. But it could be off-putting is what I mean. She's so, like, she feels so deeply and is, like, very invested, and I can see how that can go south so quickly. We, like, know nothing about the guy she was with, nothing about him, other than she loved him so much, and she loved the idea of love. So, we know he killed himself. That's the thing. Because I thought, could it have been like a double suicide thing? Or could it have been like a murder suicide thing? But I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he just killed himself. For some reason, because it got too much, because it was suffocating, because he didn't feel he got to get a way out. And that's what I'm so interested to learn in her report, her after death report. I'm like, what happened there? Because I feel like she was certainly toxic, but I'm just so curious to see what would cause such an extreme reaction to her behavior. I love Mahiru. I think her songs are great. I really love her energy, the positive vibe that she gives everyone. It's like really balances out the whole series. I think she kind of is a bit of the glue. The fact that she died, tragic. I'm so sad about that. I was so sad. I'm not looking forward to her video to see Yuno see her. Oh my god. Oh, Shido. Oh, man. Why do you have to kill her, Shido? Why do you have to kill him, Shido? Kill him. Amane, why did you have to kill Shido? Ugh. Gah. Also, back to Shido. The whole Amane and Shido beef thing is kind of funny if it weren't so sinister. Like, just thinking of a small child, like a 12-year-old girl hating this grown man so vehemently, and everyone's like, why does she hate him so much? But it's because it's not funny when you're like, oh, it's because her cult was taught her that medicine and is like punishable by death, and that you shouldn't interfere with anybody's like natural life cycle. It's so strange. It's so strange. Oh, Kazui Mukuhara, can you tell me what your deal is? What's your deal? What's your thing? I have no idea. Sorry, I was reading a text, so I was just really filling the space. Yeah, I think he has the most ambiguous crime in Milgram, because we know, like, nothing about it. We don't know, like, nothing about what he did. And it's infuriating to me, because I want to know. Yeah, so, let me think. So, how do I organize my thoughts? Because, like, you could kind of guess that he cheated on his wife and then the wife killed herself, but that doesn't feel right. I don't think it's that, because that's too similar to Mahiru, frankly. It's too similar, if that's what happened with Mahiru, it's too similar to that. And even if it wasn't what happened with Mahiru, it feels too similar to Futa. So I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if it's that. I don't know, maybe he did it intentionally. Maybe he killed his wife and framed it as a suicide because he wanted to be free, because he's a slut. I'm saying, look at his light wash denim jeans. That is a slutty man. I'm like, I don't know what his deal is. I will say, the Kazui queer theory is plausible, which I never would have expected. When I first heard people saying that, I'm like, it's not gonna happen. It's kind of a stretch. And I mean, it still is a bit of a stretch. But I wouldn't be fully surprised if they went with that. There's some queer coding there, and yeah. Plus, what was the other point with that I was gonna make? There was some other thing that I was gonna say. It was because, at first with Milgram, I was like, I don't think they're gonna touch into the queerness in one of the characters. I just didn't expect that. I wouldn't expect that at first. But I mean, with what they're doing with Yuno's character, with the abortion, and making it explicit that Haruka had a learning disability, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Is it at the top of my list of, like, my number one theory? No, I don't really think that's the case. But it's plausible. Yeah. I don't know. Another thing about his character is that, and all the characters, is I think we can be really informed by the character that either precedes them or comes directly after them. Like the pairs 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that kind of stuff. I think we can look into the other character, because with all of them, all of those pairs, they kind of have a theme tying them together, I've noticed. Which ones, some of them are a bit more ambiguous than others, but some are pretty obvious. So, Haruka and Yuno, their theme that ties them together is motherhood. Futa and Mu, their theme is bullying. Shido and Mahiru, I feel like they get more vague the further you go to each character. Shido and Mahiru, they could either be love, or relationships, or devotion, or maybe obsession even. Yeah, and then I feel Kazui and Amane, it could be truth, belief, maybe lies. That's the tie I get between them. And I'm not fully sure what it is. I feel like it's either truth or belief. I don't know, but I think the more we learn about all of the characters, the more we'll figure out about this guy. Also, he couldn't make it in time to like save to save Mahiru. Come on, dude. Come on. Whatever. Good on him though for sticking up for the other ones, I guess, but like I don't trust him. I really like his character though. I really love Kazui. I think he's great. Oh, you. Amane Momose. What to do with Amane Momose? What to do with Amane Momose? I think she is like the most divisive character, especially in terms of voting. Because I have my opinions on her, but I have no clue how I would vote for her. I don't even know if I voted at all in the last one, because I just could not figure it out, which is crazy, because I'm like, these are not real people. But it's an interesting ethical conundrum that you look at. I think she probably should have been voted. No, I don't know, because I was like, well, maybe she should have been voted forgiven in trial 1, but then that would affirm her, no matter what, that would affirm her belief. As, like, just like how voting her forgiven in trial 2 affirmed her beliefs. But if she wasn't voted forgiven in trial 2, she'd be unforgiven, and what happens if a character gets 2 unforgivens in a row? I know there are two light novels. I'm not very familiar with them. But I thought I heard that if a character in the light novels got unforgiven like twice in a row, that like something pretty bad happened. I could literally just be spreading misinformation. I really could. I'm not that much of a Milgram scholar. But that's always in the back of my mind. Yeah, so what's crazy about Amane is that after Magic, I had a pretty good theory about her, actually. I would not say it was not super accurate, but it was close. Because what's interesting is that the cult thing was introduced before Purge March. It was pretty like, oh yeah, I think she's in a cult, and which I did not get from her at first at all. I had no clue what magic could have meant at first until I saw somebody say it's a cult and here's why, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. So having thought about it and looking at it from the first, my theory after thinking, it's a cult, and seeing magic without Purge March, I thought, oh, her cult does not believe in like science or like medication and that kind of stuff, and so she was somewhere where someone was really badly hurt, really badly injured, and she did not help them, or she didn't give them medical attention, or she saw someone like on the side of the road really hurt and then she didn't report it or whatever, or like she just ignored it because her religion was like, we shouldn't interfere with people's like lives, which is, I was kind of spot on with that. It was just so much more fucked up than I expected it to be. I remember watching Purge March and being like, by the way, Purge March is a good song. I am always kind of sad that it is my most viewed vocal cover because I think it's just okay. I am really happy with the lyrics for it though. But no, I watch Purge March and I'm like, oh, so she just tried to help a kitten by bandaging its leg or something, and her mom found out and killed the cat and then subjected her to intense torture. And because the mom killed the cat, she was like, well, I'm gonna do what you did to the cat because it's like part of her cult's thing. Crazy. So not what I expected. So fucked up. I think Amane probably has the most fucked up case, or one of them. And that's why I have no idea how to vote for her, ever. Because if in the first trial, if you voted for her innocent or forgiven, it would have affirmed her beliefs. Second trial, it did affirm her beliefs. Third trial, probably would affirm her beliefs again. I don't know, like, there's no way you can deprogram a child from a cult by voting them forgiven or unforgiven. No matter what, it's going to be a shit show. But but boy, is it something to look out for. I'm gonna take a quick break, everybody, because take a quick break because frankly I'm gonna use the restroom. So okay, we're back. We're so back, guys. We're so back. Yay! Oh, hi! So basically, I'm giving, my opinions on Milgram characters, and what I think about them, what my theories, my opinions on how they should be voted for, but also take everything I say with a grain of salt, and nothing in Milgram is that serious. Yay! So basically, Amane, I had one last thing I wanted to say about her. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. Yeah, I don't think there's any right way to vote for her, because no matter what happens, it's gonna be bad. I do think it would have been really interesting if, I feel like if, Mu was voted innocent, I feel like Haruka and Mu maybe would have joined her cult. I don't know. Or at least Haruka. I feel like that's something Haruka would end up in. Mikoto. Yay! Fun fact about Milgram is that the first trial I wasn't super into when it came out. I would just kind of like catch up with it when I could, and when I remembered, I was like, oh, Milgram is a thing, and let me look at the song. It wasn't until trial 2 when I actually started really paying attention. So the only song I really remember like voting on, I think, was This Is How to Be in Love With You. I remember being there for the premiere, I think, or like seeing it that morning and being really excited because I'd been looking forward to it. Yeah, but I don't really remember my first thoughts about Mikoto. I do remember being confused because everyone had like the DID theory, which is real. It's like it wasn't a theory, it's just true. He has dissociative identity disorder, which makes it so interesting to vote for him because in my understanding, which isn't super, feel free to correct me, because the last thing I want to do is get something wrong about a disorder that is a sensitive topic for many, and a lot of people are really undereducated about it. I try to keep myself educated about it. So, like, when I did my trans lyrics for Double, I asked for some mutuals that had, or anyone who had DID to come and proofread them. And I got some feedback based on that, and I learned a bit more, and I heard a really great theory that I'll talk about in a sec from one of my mutuals who has DID and wanted to stay private, so I'm not going to say names, of course. Yeah. But it's a John. I can't believe we are calling Mikoto's alter John. Fucking John. My father's name? Really? Okay. Yeah. So John is a fully different identity. That is separated from Mikoto, that shares the same body. And so it's like, how do you prosecute that? And along with that, who did the crime? It wasn't John. It was Mikoto. Here's I don't know if they'll go this far into it'd be really cool if Milgram actually did a lot of research about dissociative identity disorder and, like, wrote something that could be realistic. Again, I don't have high expectations, but this is the theory that my mutual with DID, who wanted to remain anonymous, told me. That is my general theory for Mikoto. It's that Mikoto himself, the original, the host, did the moida. And his alter, John, is a memory holder who then holds the memory of Mikoto doing that act, which is traumatizing, scary, bad. So Mikoto does not remember that. But John, because he's a memory holder alter, does. And that is why Mikoto himself can't attack S, but John can. Because it's like, it's supposed to be that the prisoners can't attack S, but John didn't do it. John is a different guy who happens to live in Mikoto's body. So, yeah, and then also, John is also probably a protector alter, memory holder and protector. But that's my oomphs theory that I subscribe to as well, because it makes a lot of sense. And it would be really cool if Milgram didn't fumble the bag and wrote some interesting dissociative identity disorder representation. So again, if there's anything about that description that doesn't sit well with you or seems incorrect or not factually accurate, let me know, because again, I don't have dissociative identity disorder. I won't claim to be an expert. These are just things that I've learned through research and from hearing from mutuals who do have it. Anyways, enough of my theories. I like Mikoto. I like him quite a bit. I think he's funny. I feel kind of bad for him because he's like, man, why am I here? And he's like, yeah, it's probably because you've killed someone, buddy, and you just don't remember it. I'm very excited to see where his character goes, because I would want to hear more from Mikoto himself, the host. Because, like, pretty much all of Trial 2, we only heard from John. Like, in the interrogation, if I remember correctly, it's just John. Mikoto might come out here and there. Double is written from John's perspective. Fuck, I can't believe we're calling him John. Why do we gotta call him John, man? John Doe? John. Crazy shit. Yeah, but that's Mikoto. I don't have too much else to say about him, because, again, some of the characters, like, I feel like the characters that, like, the first like 5-ish characters we know a lot more about them, and the latter 5 we like are kind of still in the dark. So I can make some pretty good judgments about like Haruka, Yuno, Futa, Mu, and Shido to an extent. But the rest of them are still pretty like ambiguous. And I would like that to change. I want to know what's happening with Mikoto Kayano. And that's my opinions. He's so yas. And we're on our last one, because I'm not going to talk about S, really. I have nothing to say about S. It's a good audience conduit. I'm curious about them. I just want to... But it's, like, not the thing I'm most curious about. I don't really care. Kotoko. Yikes! I really like Kotoko. It's a shame she ended up being so strange, though. I mean, I guess anyone who's like, hey, I'm gonna do vigilante justice for fun, yeah, might be a little odd. But man, why you gotta do all that, Kotoko? What's that for? What's that for? Why? Man. Anyways. Sorry, I think my brain is just buffering, and that's why I'm not saying anything coherent. I really like Kotoko. Her songs have been, all 2 of them, I almost said all 3, all 2 of them, both of them, are really good. They're really fun to sing. I love singing Kotoko songs. I've been working on maybe dubbing some of her voice dramas, because they're fun. I like her a lot as a character. She's super interesting. I feel like her stuff is pretty straightforward. She did vigilante justice because she's, I don't know, I guess she watched too much Batman or whatever. And she saved a life. She did something really good. And in the process of doing something really good, she ended up killing someone who was about to do something really bad. Where it's like, I mean, that's already dubious ethics about, I mean, you can't, this is getting deep, but also Milgram isn't that deep, where it's like everybody's life has a inherent meaning, but also, I believe there are some crimes that can't be forgiven, and I don't think death is the punishment. Jesus, we're getting crazy. We're getting crazy into ethics. I'm talking about the ethics. You probably just entered the stream and you're like, huh? I'm talking about the ethics of Kotoko, saving this girl from a kidnapper and killing the kidnapper, where it's like, I don't know, I'm just, like, bad dude, deserves to be punished. But how far do we go with punishment, I think, is the thing. I don't want to make it sound like I'm defending the kidnapper, who is probably, like, a pedophile. Fuck that guy. I think it's just we can see the aggression in Kotoko even pretty early on before she goes crazy and snaps on everyone. So I don't know, because it's like, she's obviously strong. She could have easily restrained him or knocked him out and brought him to the police or something, but she killed him, and that could have been an accident. Who knows? We don't know Kotoko's full vigilante justice story. But in the process of doing a very good thing, she harmed someone irreversibly. And even though she did a net good, it's dubious. It's still dubious. And so her desire for justice seems to be motivated by less or so doing the right thing and more so this feeling of control. I think, and there's nothing really to point to it yet. That's kind of what I feel. Her crime is, thank you for saying that in the chat, her crime is so straightforward that I feel like there might be more to it, or at least more to her motivation, which is what I was about to talk about. There's no textual evidence for it, but I think that Kotoko might be the victim of a crime in her childhood. Maybe she experienced some sort of trauma that made her feel really passionate about bringing these people to justice, and this gives her this feeling of control. Doing her vigilante justice thing gives her a feeling of control that she didn't have in her childhood when she was a victim of a crime. That is my personal theory that has no textual evidence, so that may as well just be a headcanon. But I think it would make her character really interesting rather than her just being like, I feel like doing justice. I don't know. She's weird. She's so weird. That there has to be more to her. There's gotta be. So I'm really excited to see what happens to her in this trial. Thank you. I do like that. Also, it's crazy that you come into here and have no clue what Milgram is. Sorry. I sing the songs from the series a lot. It's really interesting. It's really good and it's really accessible. Yeah. But when we talking about what she does in the prison, it's like, something's off about you. You're strange. 'Cause it's like the whole leap from being forgiven to being like, everyone thinks that I did a good thing because I saved a girl from getting kidnapped, which is like, duh, of course you did a good thing. Because everybody thinks I'm a good person, I'm going to just appoint myself as being the other prison guard to make sure everyone's in line, and I'm going to control everyone, and I'm going to beat everyone who was voted unforgiven within an inch of their life, including the 12-year-old. Like, that is a crazy logical jump. They're already in prison. You're all in prison. You're all in this weird, freaky hellscape prison. And it's like, dude, buddy, they're already restrained. They're already being punished. But she's like, despite that, I think that I should beat all of these people up, like, within an inch of their life and almost kill them. Regardless of, I don't know what they did. I mean, I assume that the Milgram characters don't know what each other did. Like, I don't know what they did. I don't know if everything they're saying about everybody in here being a murderer is true. I don't know if, like there's so much she doesn't know, and the fact that she immediately jumps to punishing people with violence is absolutely insane. It's insane. So it's just like, I'm so excited to find out what her deal is. I know. And I mean, like, it's, anyway, that's my feelings about Kotoko. She's one of my favorites. I really like her. I think she's so interesting, and I'm so excited to learn more about her deal. I didn't make a slide for S because I forget S exists. And that's a good thing, because a good audience conduit makes sure that you forget about them entirely. Yeah, so I'm excited to learn hopefully more about what S's deal is. Why do you not remember anything? Why are you 14? Why are you this prison guard? Why is a jackalope talking to you? What's up with that? But I feel like I'm not, I don't know. I'm vaguely familiar with the light novels, vaguely. So it's likely that S was a former Milgram prisoner who, I don't know, was like the last one standing or something. Because the other, I gotta say, I haven't read the light novels. I've looked into them a little bit because I was curious, but, like, I couldn't read them because they're, like, a bit too bleak. And it's like, if you think that Milgram like the YouTube series is fucked up, read the light novels are like worse. The light novels are really brutal, from what I can tell. And the fact that I even like Milgram is crazy, because I don't like super dark stuff like that. I hate anything that's like true crime or about serial killers. I can't stand that kind of stuff. So the fact that I like Milgram is wild. Maybe it's just because it's catchy songs. Again, sorry, I love that you guys are in here watching it and you don't know what Milgram is. It is an interactive YouTube series. If you know Alien Stage, it's kind of similar to that in format, where each character has a song and then there's a voice drama. So it's like a 10 to 20 minute like audiobook kind of thing, where this character who is a prison guard is interviewing them. All of the characters have committed a murder of kinds, although the story's definition of murder is purposefully very loose. So like one of them, so some of them like straight up didn't like actually kill people. They may have been the cause of somebody dying, but they didn't like kill them. And it's your job to kind of BS and to vote on whether they're forgiven or not forgiven, or guilty or innocent. It depends on who's translating it, but it's technically forgiven, not forgiven, because they're all guilty in the eyes of Milgram. It's just whether or not you forgive them. But it's really interesting, and there's the first trial had 10 songs, well, 11 technically. The second trial had 10 songs, and each one had the voice dramas, and the third trial is just starting up. So, I mean, well, you were all watching this stream, so you know which characters died in the third trial. So those characters don't get a song, unfortunately. But the rest will. So that's what this is about. And there's a new song coming out in like 2 weeks, I think. I think it's on the 18th of June. Yeah, so if you're following me, if you subscribe to me on YouTube, you are probably a Vocaloid fan. And being a Vocaloid fan, you probably know Deco Nina or Deco 27. For years I called him Deco 27, and I didn't know that it was supposed to be said Deco Nina. But all of the music is composed by Deco Nina. And that Otoiro company that he works with for... I don't know much about Deco Nina. I should know more. They work on all the music videos. The music videos are fully animated. It's really cool. Full voice acting. It's not like sung by Vocaloid. It's sung by real voice actresses and voice actors. It's really cool. Yeah. There's spin-off light novels. That, again, I don't know too much about, because frankly, I tried reading them, or reading the summaries, and I was like, ooh, this is a bit much for me. Because, again, I don't like this kind of stuff usually. I think I'm just able to do this because it's the catchy tunes of Deco Nina. But also, I do feel like the other ones are kind of really brutal. I do think there's a tie-in. I do think I don't think you have to read the light novels to understand. I mean, you definitely don't have to read the light novels to understand the main series, but I think there might be some sort of a tie-in to Kotoko, because in the light novels there's some sort of vigilante justice movement. I don't know, because again, I only kind of skimmed the summary, like a really in-depth summary, but a summary at that. That may have been started by Kotoko, so Kotoko, like, might be part of some sort of a culty thing. I don't know. It was weird. So, if you are not squeamish, or you are fine with some really creepy stuff, then go ahead and look up the Milgram light novels. They're not for me. Maybe I'm a pussy. I am, actually. I really am. But yeah, so that's my opinion on that. Let me see. I kind of want to keep talking about Milgram, even though I've gone on through all of my opinions about them. I'm gonna go over the songs. I think All Knowing, All Agony is better than Weakness. I love All Knowing and All Agony. Weakness is okay. I actually have a cover of Weakness that I recorded a while ago, and I've just never posted it. I think now I just don't think it's very good. You know what I also have? This might take a second, but back when I was first getting into Milgram, there was also in Milgram, with each single, they release each song as like a single with the voice dramas and the character singing a Deco Nina song. What? Anyways, so each character has sung like 2 Deco Nina songs, and sorry, I'm trying to find this thing on my phone, which is kind of hilarious that we just have these characters that are not super related to... Sorry, I'm taking a second. Here they are. These are my best case scenario songs for Milgram to cover. None of these have come through yet. Well, no, some of them have. Sorry, that took a hot second for me to pull that up. But each of them kind of covers a Deco Nina song, which is really fun. But Haruka, if I remember correctly, had, his songs are Weakness, that's the first song, then All Knowing and All Agony. And then the 2 covers he did were of, it's, 2 Breaths Walking and Android Girl. So, yep. And those are both great covers. I prefer, 2 Breaths Walking. I remember when I put my best case Milgram covers, best case scenario Milgram covers, I wanted him to cover Turret of Justice, which I'm pretty sure is an album exclusive off of Ghost. I went deep dive. I deep dived for this thing. But anyways, her first song is Umbilical and her second song is Teardrop. I don't know if I prefer one over the other. I think they're just about equal in my eyes. I used to listen to both of them a lot, and now because I've just heard them so much, I can't. So, I guess they're the same to me. They're both great songs, I just can't listen to them as much anymore. And then she covered not Aikotoba, it was Sticky Bug. It was Sticky Bug that she covered. And then after that, it was, The Vampire. She covered The Vampire. And that... Oh, also, for those who don't know, which seems to be at least 2 of you in the chat, the covers are all remixes of Deco... It's... Deco Nina remixed his own songs for Milgram, which is awesome. Yeah. That's that. And is slated to cover Rabbit Hole. I kind of have this joke with myself where I'll see a Deco Nina upload on his regular channel. I'll be like, this was written for Milgram. This was written for a Milgram character to cover. And I feel that way about Rabbit Hole. I love Rabbit Hole. I was a huge fan of it when the song first dropped, before it got super popular. Oh my goodness. Come on, Lime. Be serious. Be so for real. But there are some songs where I've been like, that's for so-and-so to sing. I wrote this list before Rabbit Hole came out, so Rabbit Hole is perfect, actually, for her. But my wish list was Iya, or 118, or Status Effect Girlfriend. Those were, the 2 that I think she could have covered, and that would have worked. Futa has 2 songs. He has Bring It On and Backdraft, and one of them is much better than the other, and that song that is better than the other is Bring It On. I think Backdraft is the weakest of all of the Milgram songs. I don't think it's that. I think it's fine. I think it's just kind of boring. And then what did he cover? He covered, it's, I think Mosaic Roll. Was it Mosaic Roll? I'm Googling it. He covered Mosaic Roll and, Salamander, which is objectively really funny to me. Like, oh, sure, I guess. It was Mosaic Roll. I always get Mosaic Roll and Coward Mont Blanc mixed up, which is kind of evil. Yeah. And then on, I think he's, I'm totally forgetting what song he's slated to cover for Trial 3. I was just on his wiki page. I think it's like Chimera. Oh, no, it's Rookie. It's Rookie. It's that tattoo song that I don't really remember. Yeah. Moo has After Pain, and then, what comes after Pain? I'm losing my mind. It's Not My Fault. That's what the song is called. I would say they're equally as good. I have a preference for It's Not My Fault. I kind of like that song more, but both are good songs. And then she has covered MKDR. I think that's what it's called. MKDR. MDKR. I always forget what it's called. And Otome Kaibo. The MKDR cover is really good. I think I prefer that one. And then my wish list for Moo is I would really like her to sing Chimera or Cinderella. Oh, yeah, those two. And my wish list for Futa was Addiction or Dilemma. I thought those would have been really good, but whatever, Decon, whatever you say. Guess it's your series, not mine. Shido's songs are based. Throwdown is the first one, and then Triage is the second. I would say they're both equally as good. I think I like Triage a bit more. Maybe that's because it's new. I really liked it covered at some point, but I've had such a hard time with writing lyrics for it. I think Shido has the best covers in the whole series. He covered Liar Dance. Oh my gosh. It's like the only version of the song I'll listen to. It's so good. And then his second was Delusion Tax. And that's a good cover too. Then he's not getting another song or another cover. But if he did, I would want him to do Theory of Negativity, because that's a fun song, and I like that song a lot. Does it fit him? I don't really remember, but I like that song, so I want him to sing it. Mahito, I think, has my favorite songs out of the girls. If not, it's either Mahiru or Kotoko that has my favorites. Her first song is This Is How to Be in Love with You, which is maybe my favorite song of the first trial. I really love that song. And I'm really happy with my cover of it. The newer one, not the older one that's unlisted. Then her second song is I Love You, which I'm also really proud of my cover of that. Yeah. And then what did she cover in the first trial? It was it was Psychogram. Which is a great song. I love that song. I think it's underrated, and it was a good pick for her. And the remix for it is so cool sounding, because they totally get rid of the metal sound in the original version, and it's like this kind of techno cutesy type deal. It's really cool. And then her cover of Parasite is perfect too. That's one of the songs where I saw a Parasite get uploaded, and I was like, that was written for Milgram. What were the songs that if she got another one, I would want her to sing Undead Alice or Love Doll, but alas, we aren't hearing from her again. Kazui Mukuhara has some decent songs. Half has grown on me. Half is his first song, and it has grown on me. I didn't like it too much at first because I thought it was kind of bland. But the more I listen to it, the more I actually really like it. I'd love to cover it at some point. I just need to finish my trans lyrics for it. And then the second song is Cat. Cat is fun. I had a great time covering that. His covers were Coward Mont Blanc and oh man, what was his second? What was his second song that he covered in Trial 2? I don't remember. I'm looking it up right now. It was Neon Neon. No wonder I forgot. I don't care for that song. So I always skip it. That's why I don't remember it. I don't know. I think I might prefer Half, just because I've listened to Cat a lot more. Yeah. Amane, unpopular opinion, I prefer Magic over the Purge March. Again, I think it might just be because the Purge March is my cover that got popular that I'm like, well, it's fine. It's a good cover. It's just, like, not my best. So I think I kind of resent that song a little bit. But also I just do prefer Magic. Magic is her first song, and it has more of an Idol type style, while Purge March is off-putting. And then her first cover it's like Happiness Parade, I think is what it's called. It's something like that. It's cute. It's a cute song, and it's a cute cover. And her second cover is so goated. It's Animal, which you're like, hey, what? But the remix that Deconina did for his own song for Animal is so good. It's so good, and her vocals are great. What were the other ones that I wanted to... Turret of Justice was also an option for Amane on my wish list. I had no wish list for Kazui. I could not think of anything that fit him super well. Mikoto has 2 songs. He has Mimi, spelled like meme, except the second M is capitalized, and it's me, which is kind of hilarious. And then he has Double. I think I prefer Mimi. Mimi is more my style, even though they're both very good. And then his first cover was oh my god, both of his covers were like 2 of my favorite Deconina songs. It's Monopoisoner and Reversible Campaign. Come on. And his voice actor has such a great voice. It's the great covers. On my wish list is Winter Cleaning, which won't happen. That would not happen. But I think it would fit him really well because it has notions of like forgetting stuff and like, oh, we're doing winter cleaning, we're gonna forget all these bad things. Yeah. Kotoko is so goated. She has such 2 great songs and such a good voice. Yeah. So her first song, Haro or Haro or Haro or however you want to say it. I say Haro because that's just how she says it in the song. Is really great. And then Deep Cover is really good. I think Deep Cover is my favorite. I think Deep Cover is like a contender for my favorite of Trial 2. It's All Knowing and All Agony versus Deep Cover, and it just depends on the day. I wish my cover of Deep Cover was the one that got as popular as Purge March. Because Purge March is fine, but my Deep Cover is, not to toot my own horn, but I think it's really good. And then the songs she covered, what were they? One is Streaming Heart, and the other one is... Oh my gosh, what is it? Streaming Heart was on my list of songs I wanted her to cover. It was my only song list on the stuff I wanted her to cover. But what is the first one? I'm totally forgetting what that song is called. Anti-Beat. That's a great song, and that was perfect for her. Yeah. And also Undercover, which is S's song, is good too. That one's fine. Sorry, I'm not sick. I'm just, like, getting over bronchitis, I think, which is also why I haven't had a cover out in so long. but I'm working on stuff. Anyways, I think that's all for tonight. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a lovely night. A lovely night. A lovely night. No one for Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella. Whatever. You guys aren't even that cool anyway. Okay. Good.